Hello everyone, welcome back. This video will learn how we can interface servo motor with Arduino. So let's get started. So servo motors are basically used for precise angle based operation. So if your application does have some requirement for angle based operation, servo motor is the motor you are looking for. Then this servo motor can move to any angle between 0 to 180 degree. And they have 3 pins. In the signal pin, they receives PWM pulse as input signal. So among the 3 pins, the first one is the deep brown color, that is the ground for the servo motor. Then we have red color pin, that is VCC or 5 volt supply pin, and the orange color pin, that is for signal. Now let's learn about the steps to interface servo motor with Arduino. The first step for programming is including a library for servo motor. The most popular one is servo.h. Then comes the second step, creating a servo object. To create a servo object, you first have to write servo. Then you can give any name for your object. Like here I have defined my servo 1 for servo 1 motor, and then servo my servo 2 for second servo motor. If you have multiple servo at your project, you can do by similar approach. The third step is to create a servo pin. And to create a servo pin or attaching a servo to a pin of Arduino, you just need to write the servo object name. Like here I have created my servo 1. So for that motor, I will write my servo 1 dot attach. Within the bracket, you need to put the pin number of your Arduino. In this case, the pin number 10. But remember, you need to attach only the PWM pins of your Arduino board here. Okay. Now comes the fourth step, that is setting the servo value. To put the servo at any angle, you need to use this step. Like write the servo object name for your motor, my servo 1 dot. To put the motor shaft at any specific angle, you need to use right within the bracket, you need to put the angle at which you want to place your servo shaft. So these are basically the steps for using servo motor with Arduino. Following these 4 steps, you can easily attach and work with any servo with your project. Now let's jump into OQI and build our first servo project. At the OQI platform, we'll first build the circuit. We'll bring in servo. If you search for servo, you will find this servo motor here. And if you put your mouse at the terminals, they will show the name for the pin. The first one is ground, so let's connect to it ground. The second one is VCC, so let's connect the second terminal to the 5 volt of our Arduino. And finally, the servo signal pin, it's a PWM pin. So you can connect to any of the PWM pin that has been assigned for your board. Like for this Arduino Uno, we can use 1, 3, 5, 6, 9 to 11, any of this pin. You can make a different color for this pin also. Okay, that's all for the circuit hardware. Let's jump into the programming. The first thing is we need to include a library for servo. So let's do that. Include servo.h. As you have added the servo here, also you need to go to library manager and search for servo here. If you go down, you will find this library. You need to click on this library and it will get added to the library manager. So the first task is done. The second task is to create a servo object. So let's do that. Servo. Then you can give any name. So we are using only one servo. Let's my servo. So that's all for the second step. In the third step, you need to define at which pin you have connected your servo. So let's do that. You need to first write your servo object name. In my case, my servo is the servo object. Then you need to write attach. And here within the bracket, you need to put the pin number. Here for our circuit, we have used pin number 10. So that's all for the attachment. Now comes the final step. If you want to put the servo at any specific angle, you can do so. Let's write a code that will continuously change the servo shaft. Let's do that. We'll first put the servo right at 0 degree, and after a delay of 1 second, I will again write my servo to 90 degree. Then we'll make a delay. Then my servo dot write to 180 degree and make a delay again of 1000 millisecond or 1 second. Okay, so what I have written here, first at the beginning of the program, my servo shaft will be redirected to 0 degree angle. Then after 1 second, it will move to 90 degree. Then after 1 second, sorry, here I need to put a delay in millisecond. After again 1 second, it will move to 180 degree. Then again after 1000 millisecond or 1 second, it will jump at the starting of the program and do the similar step repeatedly. So let's do the simulation and see if our program works. 0, 90, 180. So that's how we can work with servo. Now you can put different logics to your project. According to the requirement of the project, you can move the servo as you want, at any angle you want, and you can also attach any object related attached to this shaft and perform several activities. I hope you enjoyed learning how to work with servo. It is pretty simple and easy to work with servo. I'll see you in the next video with some more exciting projects. So see you then. Thank you.